Thanks for taking me out for ice cream, Simone. We haven't done this for ages.
It's hard to believe we used to do this all the time.
Yeah, it's funny how things go along and you think they'll always be that way. And then one day you wake up and realize nothing's the same.
Yeah. Things used to be so simple and easy. But what I can't put my finger on is when things got so complicated.
Me either. I guess it was just a lot of little things adding up.
I wish we could go back.
Like, my parents were together and we all lived at home. Even Noah. We were really happy then. But little by little, things fell apart.
It's the same with me and my family.
You've handled it a lot better than I have.
In some ways, maybe, but I've made my mistakes too. I just keep telling myself that part of growing up is learning to roll with the punches. Can't let them knock you down.
And here I've been a punching bag. It just seems like nothing matters anymore. I tried to do the right thing, be a good girl, like my parents wanted me to. Only my perfect mom decided to leave Daddy and run off with her first husband.
Yeah, well, my parents preached that same stuff to me, and then I found out that my mom had an affair with Julian Crane, and their child together grew up to be Chad.
So, why should we follow our parents' advice? They didn't. Why can't we do what we want, have fun?
Well, eating ice cream together is fun. But Jess, you cutting yourself and taking drugs and letting Spike talk you into prostitution, has that all been fun?
Fancy, what the hell were you thinking? I can't believe you did what you did.
I went to my grandfather to give you a second chance and get you a great job, so shoot me.
Oh, don't tempt me, all right?
Noah, what is your problem? I came here to tell you that all our problems are solved and you're freaking out. What's the matter with you?
Fancy, what is the matter with you, all right? Going to your grandfather behind my back? The man set me up to be arrested on drug and weapons charges after having my father fired on bogus criminal, corruption charges. What am I supposed to be doing now? Patting you on the head, saying good job, good job?
Grampy is coming around. He's offered you an amazing job so he could see firsthand that you're worthy of me.
Look, I don't give a damn what the old man thinks about me, okay?
What about the money? You said we need money.
Not if the money comes from Alistair Crane.
Are all of you deaf? I came here to offer my condolences. Is someone officially going to invite me in?
You've got to be kidding.
You murderer!
Get the hell out of my house, Crane. You aren't welcome here.
Not welcome. I came here to pay my respects and my deepest condolences for Luis's untimely death. I even brought flowers.
You ripped him up from the garden on your way in, you cheap bastard.
Well, true, they're not from a florist, but isn't it the thought that counts with you people?
You people. Puerco racista.
Let's talk English. You're in America now. Pilar, you've been in my thoughts ever since I heard the news.
We know exactly what your thoughts are, Alistair.
Oh, you couldn't possibly know my thoughts.
Father, leave. You are not welcome here.
Father, perhaps you should leave before there's another murder.
Vete de mi casa ahora mismo.
Get out now!
As you wish. I'll just take what I came for.
You've already robbed me of two of my sons. What else could you possibly want from us?
My wife, Teresa, your daughter.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. For life.
Noah, we need to talk.
If it'll help you give it a clue, fine. All right, talk.
What is with your attitude? I convinced my grandfather to give you a second chance and a job at Crane Industries, and instead of giving me a gold star for problem solving, you're giving me grief.
Yeah, you're damn straight I am.
Why?
Here, why don't you make a list? Start with, I don't want anything from your grampy, because Alistair is manipulative, treacherous, and evil. Next is the fact that you took it upon yourself to go behind my back to Alistair.
I was trying to help us make it on our own. I saw the apartments that we could afford with you working here, and they were the pits. So after pawning my watch to buy winning lottery tickets that would land us on Millionaire's Row didn't work, you lectured me about being naive and said the way for us to have more money was for you to have a better job. So I found you one. And now you're mad at me for trying to help. It's not fair.
Fancy, you didn't do this to help me. You did this to help yourself.
Are you serving drinks or drinking them yourself?
You went to your grampy so that he would give me a job because you saw the type of apartments that we'd have to live in on a normal income, and they were all beneath the fabulous Fancy Crane.
True. But
look, all right, just admit it to yourself, princess. This has nothing to do with me. It has to do with you not wanting to be poor.
Come, Teresa. Our conjugal bed awaits us.
She's not going anywhere with you, Crane.
Nonsense. Teresa is going home with me, her loving husband. And you have no say in this matter. You're nothing but a father who abandoned her and the rest of your brood to run off and live in sin with my first wife. I'm no psychologist, but the fact that she was abandoned at such an early age by her father was probably the genesis of her attraction to older gentlemen like myself.
A gentleman, you? Please.
Well, yes, Teresa's always craved a father figure. And now she has her very own Big Daddy.
This is sick, Father.
Oh, sick? No more sick than you and Rebecca. Dressing up in costumes and having sex all over the mansion and the grounds. Tell me something, Julian. Did Edgar the donkey ever do more than just watch?
Why don't you leave the poor beast out of it?
Are we talking about the donkey or Rebecca?
Don't talk about my mother like that.
Oh, come on, Gwed. You know how I feel about Rebecca. You caught us in bed together earlier this evening. Oh, and Teresa, don't forget to remind me to have you talk to Rebecca. She'll give you some pointers. She knows exactly what I like.
This is so tawdry and unseemly.
Ah, then we have Eve. Julian's first and current whore. You, more than anyone else, should know of the voracious sexual appetite that the Crane men have. That is, of course, if Julian still measures up. Now, to put it this delicately, I am hornier than hell, and I need Teresa to fulfill her wifely duties.
I just can't live like this anymore, you know? And I know it's my fault. I know I got myself into this nightmare. But you don't even know what it's like. This prenuptial agreement that I signed. Well, it gives Alistair the right to have sex with me anytime that he feels like it. And when we do, he only likes it when he forces himself on me or when he's hurting me. And no matter how many times we do it, he wants more, you know?
Teresa is getting exactly what she deserves. And often. Suffer, you bitch, suffer.
Teresa, I want sex now. You come with me immediately, or I'll take you right here on your brother's coffin in front of him.
Son of a...
No, Papa, stop it, please.
Listen, I'm not trying to lay one on you, Jess. I just want to know what you think. Is everything that you've been through better than the life our parents tried to get us to lead? You know, the straight and narrow?
No, it's not.
I didn't think so. And I know you were hurt when your mom left your dad for David Hastings, and so you tried to do the exact opposite of everything she told you to do. But the only person you ended up hurting by doing that was you. And sure, you hurt your mom and the rest of your family, but you're the one who ended up paying the most.
Sometimes it's just hard to see that. Sometimes I just want to be numb and not feel anything. Then other times, I want to hurt in a different way. So that pain will take away all the other pain.
Only it doesn't work that way.
I know that now. Hey, Simone, how have you held it together so well?
Me?
Yeah, I mean, your family fell apart. Your parents got divorced. Whitney ended up with the guy you both loved, only to find out Chad is your half-brother. I mean, how have you managed to come out of this okay when I am such a mess?
Yes, we all have our own ways of dealing with things.
Yeah, so how'd you do it?
I've come to realize that I can only be myself. And then again, maybe we're a certain way to start. You know, maybe all these things that are going on in our family, they're not the reason that we are the way we are. Maybe we're that way to begin with, deep down inside.
God, I hope you're wrong, Simone. I killed that John. You know, I'd hate to think I'm a cold-blooded killer.
How dare you speak to my daughter that way, you sick bastard! I will kill you!
Enough! Enough! Listen, hey! We are here to mourn Luis. So back off, both of you, all right?
Oh, gladly. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And besides, Teresa has a prenuptial agreement to honor. Isn't that right, my dear? Go ahead, walk through that door. You'll never see your son again.
It's okay. It's okay. I do have to go back to the mansion with Alistair.
Teresa, no.
Papa? Alistair is right. He is my husband.
Her sweet, loving husband.
Could you just please give me just a moment alone with my brother in private, please, before we leave?
Oh, of course, my dear. Just make it quick. Your brother Luis is not the only stiff in this room right now.
My God, this is awful. Teresa told me the hell she was in with Alistair, but to see it up close and personal.
It's a pity, but there's really nothing we can do.
What are you asking me to do? Is there some kind of drug, something that can knock him out so he can stop raping me?
Maybe there is a way to help Teresa.
You are my passion for life.
You didn't go to your grandfather to help me, Fancy. You went to him to avoid being poor.
Even if that's true, what's wrong with that? If someone has the choice of being rich and being poor, who on earth, besides a few monks, would choose being poor?
I would, okay? If it meant not going to someone as evil as Alistair, your grandfather.
This coming from the mooching gambler of Vegas.
Look, I may not be perfect, all right?
May not be?
God knows I've pulled my fair share of scams. But I won't take money made off of someone else's grief. And that's what fills the Crane coffers, Fancy. Blood money.
Not all of them.
All right, Fancy. Just 99.9% of it.
Don't pretend you know percentages.
Then don't pretend that you don't know the type of misery that your grandfather inflicts on people. The lives that he has destroyed. Look, Fancy, I'm not just talking about my own family, all right? But that's an abomination in and of itself. Look at Teresa and her parents, or her brothers, Antonio and Luis. They're dead. All right? And why don't you look at Sheridan, his own daughter? He stole her child and then had the man she loves killed.
No one knows that for certain. The second part, anyway.
All right, Fancy. Look at your own father, okay? How Alistair has robbed Julian of years of happiness with Eve Russell. Or your grandmother, Catherine? She had to leave her children, have plastic surgery, and go out living in hiding? And this is the man you want me to go to work for, this monster you think you love? Are you freaking crazy or what?
Jess, you're no killer.
How can you say that, Simone? I came to in a motel room next to a dead John, stabbed with the knife Spike gave me for protection.
Yeah, well, that's just it. You came to next to that dead guy. Alistair Crane could have had that guy killed while you were out of it to set you up for murder. Look what he's done to the rest of your family.
What if Alistair isn't responsible? What if it was me hating being a prostitute so much that when I was high on drugs, I acted out and murdered a man?
Well, that guy was a creep.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve to die.
And you don't deserve to go to jail, whether or not you kill that guy.
How am I supposed to live with myself not knowing what happened?
Look, you're back home now, surrounded by people who genuinely love you. Not all girls who do what you were doing are as lucky. And plus, you're staying off the streets, you're staying away from Spike. The worst is behind you. Whatever it was.
You're right. I just wish I felt better about things.
You will. When you get back into therapy and get your life on track.
I hope so.
If you're still worried about this murder business, go unburden yourself to Father Lonigan. You'll feel better, and he can't tell anyone what you told him because he's a priest. But otherwise, Mom's the word. Don't tell anybody what you're afraid might have happened, or you could end up in prison for murder. And I just couldn't lose you, Jess. I just couldn't.
And now for this WAJR News update. The remains of Harmony Police Detective Luis Lopez Fitzgerald were returned to Harmony earlier this evening from Morocco, where the veteran officer was stabbed to death during a bar fight in Tangier. His body then dumped into the ocean. Sources tell WAJR that Detective Lopez Fitzgerald was on the trail of his son with heiress Sheridan Crane. The boy Marty was kidnapped several months ago.
Sure, it looks like you could use this. I mean, Luis Riggs, especially at death.
Damn you, Father. Damn you straight to hell.
Well, no reason to throw a temper tantrum. Is not going to bring Luis back. And this overly dramatic greeting girlfriend act of yours, give it a rest. I mean, everyone knows that you loved him, you miss him. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
How could you start in on me when this is all your fault? You helped to steal my child. You killed the man that I love. How could you do this to me? You're my father. Wait, I'm not through with you yet.
Oh, will you back off? You're not on the 6 o'clock news anymore.
I said I'm not through with you.
You're not what?
You killed Luis.
You flatter me.
Shut up and wipe that smug smile off your face. This is all your fault, and I will never forgive you for it. Never!
Luis, I love you. Your death is not going to be in vain. I'm going to get revenge on Alistair for what he's done to us. I promise.
Teresa, it's time to go. Luis is dead, but I'm very much alive, and I need your nubile body in my bed.
I'm coming.
Teresa, Julian and I will have you in our thoughts, honey. I'm so sorry about Louise. Here, I want you to take these. Give Alistair one, just one. He won't be able to force himself on you tonight. He'll be safe. At least for one night. Teresa, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Teresa, our marital bed awaits us.
These pills will end my hell for more than tonight. They're going to end it forever. I'm crazy for wanting you to come work for my grandfather. No, you're crazy for not jumping at the chance.
Excuse me for having a conscience and principles.
Look, I know what people say about my grandfather. That he's a tyrant, an ogre, a monster.
Keep going.
But he's not like that with me.
Okay, let's fact check here for a second. You were recently disinherited because you didn't give in to Alistair's ultimatum not to see me anymore, right?
Yes, but...
On top of him sticking it to me and my father.
True. But this is why you going to work for him is genius.
Genius, she says.
Once you show Grampy that you're good enough, he'll leave you alone like he does Ethan.
Whoa, Ethan's situation is totally different. He was raised as a Crane. All right, and besides, he knows that business inside and out. Alistair needs Ethan more than Ethan needs Alistair. It would be the opposite with me.
At first, maybe, but...
Look, Fancy. Look, I care about you, all right? I do.
I care about you, too. A lot.
Ditto. But I can't get you to understand how strongly I feel about certain things. And your grandfather and being a Crane are two of the big ones.
But, no, I'm a Crane.
Yeah, you're right, you are. And I have to realize that that is something that's never going to change.
If Alistair treated Teresa so shamefully in front of everyone, I don't even want to think about how he treats her in private.
Yeah, well, I know the hell that Alistair forced Catherine to endure. The emotional and physical abuse, verbally beating her down, then raping her because he could. And now, one of our daughters is being tortured by Alistair.
I knew to expect the unexpected when I came back to Harmony, but this is worse than I ever imagined. I never got to know Antonio growing up, and now I'll never have the chance to get to know Luis better. I feel like I'm losing my family all over again. Mama, please.
I know that letting me hold you still makes you uncomfortable. I know. But, you know, we're together now, and maybe things will get easier. I promise you that you will never lose me again.
For me. We'll always be here for you, sweetheart. Your mother and I will always be here for you.
Sorry Father was his usual cruel self. You certainly didn't need that at this time.
I've given up expecting anything else from Father. What a fool I was to hold out for as long as I did in hopes of gaining Father's love and approval. I was just so desperate for it. And he knew that. He used my neediness to manipulate me into thinking that every time would be different. It wasn't until I was sure of Luis's love that I no longer needed Father's approval. Luis's love made me stronger. Luis helped me to see all the evil things that Father was doing to me. But nothing he did, from having me shipped off to Europe to cure me of nightmares of having murdered my mother, to having me almost killed I don't know how many times, compared to what he's done this time. Stealing my child and having the love of my life killed.
Even though now, as I stand at Luis's coffin, I just can't help but believe that Luis is alive. He's alive and coming home with Marty.
You are traveling due north and are approaching Harmony.
Can't be with Alistair again. I just can't.
Ah, my wife. Oh, are you cold? Well, let me hold you. I've got so much heat to spare.
You know, actually, Alistair, what I'm feeling right now, it will pass, so.
Oh, okay. You saw my little gift?
Yes, I do.
You know, I want you to put this on whatever's left of it, so that I have the immense pleasure of taking it off your supple, sexy body. Put it on and be quick about it. Excuse me. I have to take this call in private. But, you'll be ready for me when I get back.
Oh, I'll be ready, Alistair. Dr. Russell said just one pill will end my hell tonight. Just one pill.
Look, Jess, you said that you wish things could be simpler, and they can be. Just keep doing what you're doing, and pretty soon your drugged out hooker days will be all behind you.
Thanks for being such a good friend, Simone. Paloma, too. You know, you guys really went out on a limb for me tonight with my dad, and I appreciate it. I just hope none of us end up in jail.
We won't. Now let's get you inside so you can go to bed and get some rest.
Yeah, I am so tired.
Wait, Jess. Listen, this is your second chance. Use this to start over with a clean slate. And don't let anything from your time with Spike come back and hurt you again.
I wish you could all see the movie that plays in my mind. In it, Luis is alive. And I don't know why, but there's music playing. Maybe because he's found Marty and he's on his way home with him.
Honey, I know how hard it is to accept loss. Believe me, I especially know how hard it is to lose a child you know. I lost two. But sweetie, Luis is gone. He is, and he's not gonna come back with Marty because he can't.
But I need him too. I need him and Marty.
We know you do.
We need them too, Mia. But you know, oh God, we all have to accept the sad reality that they're both gone. Can't live your life hoping for something that can never be, Sheridan.
I know. The DNA tests, the dental records, the fingerprints, this coffin. It's all proof that Luis is really gone. But in my heart of hearts, Luis is still alive. It's just all been a mistake. Like Marty's first DNA test, the results were wrong.
Sheridan, the tests on Luis were comprehensive.
I know. This time things are different.
be okay. Don't worry about me. I don't want any of you to worry about me. It's like you've all said, it just takes time.
My sister has always been very fragile. I just hope that this catastrophe doesn't finally shatter her.
Well, she is much stronger than she ever used to be. All the pain that Alistair inflicted on her and Louise has made her stronger. If this loss is so intense, it's just pushing her away from reality and accepting it. But eventually she will. I know she will.
Louise.
Sheridan?
Louise?
I love you, Sheridan. I love you.
Louise! Louise!
What did you say?
Louise! I just heard him. He's alive and he's here!
You're right, Fancy. You are a Crane. It's what makes you who you are. And I have to accept that, the way that you have to accept how I feel about your grandfather. I hate him with a passion for who he is and what he does to people. And I wish that I could get past that or ignore it or forget it, but I can't. And as far as you being his granddaughter, look, I can't ignore that or forget it either. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too. But the Crane in me doesn't want to go where I think you're heading with this. So what if...
Hey, look. I would love to, Fancy, but we can't.
Okay, how about if we just...
Fancy, no.
But and you, we...
Look, I know. But it's not enough, all right? And deep down, you know that too. Look, Fancy, we're on totally opposite sides of this, okay? And it's more than just us coming from two different worlds. It's bigger than that. It's deeper than that. It's us. It's who we are. And I don't think that there's anything we can do to make this work.
You don't mean that, Noah. You can't.
I don't see us working out. I don't think we have what it takes to make it as a couple. I'm sorry.
The house is so quiet. Everyone must still be out.
Do you want me to stay and keep you company until your dad or Noah gets home?
Thanks, but I'll be fine. I'm home now, safe and sound. Hey, thanks again for being such a good friend. And for the ice cream.
Anything for you, Jess. And you know, if you ever need whatever, I'm here for you, right?
I know. That's why I love you.
I love you too. Good night. Get some sleep. I'll call you in the morning.
Okay. Good night. I'll talk to you later.
Hope this works. Hope the drug that Dr. Russell gave me.
Oh, Mito Teresa, as your people would say.
Oh, thank you, Alistair. Thank you.
Well, if I didn't already want you, I'd want you now. I can hardly wait before I rake my hands over your hot, naked body.
Well, let's just have a drink first, shall we?
Hmm.
That's good.
Your plan is almost as transparent as your attire, my dear.
My plan?
Oh, yes, that you have to get drunk before you have sex with me.
Yes, I guess I was being transparent, Alistair.
Well, whatever it takes. I mean, you can get drunk, I told you, I don't care. Or you can pretend that you're on a shopping spree in Paris, or you're having fantasies about Ethan. Just as long as you adhere to our prenuptial agreement of having sex with me whenever, wherever, and however I want it. And that's going to be constantly, my dear. I'll drop you. Surprise.
I just heard Luis. He's alive and he's here.
No, Sheridan, no. No, Mija. Look, nobody wants Luis to be alive and well more than I, but he's gone, Mija, okay? You have to accept that truth.
No. I heard Luis. I heard him.
Sheridan, honey, you were just talking about the movie in your head, how much you wanted Luis to come home and how he was going to bring Marty with him.
Yes, I heard Luis.
No, sweetheart, I'm afraid you just imagined it.
Luis is not out there. He's in here. In that coffin.
Sheridan, I love you.
Madre de Dios. That's Luis.
I told you. Oh, God. I told you. I heard him. Luis is alive and he's home. Luis!
Spike, you can't tell Daddy I killed those two Johns.
Mum's the word then. Just as long as you come back to me where you belong. What do I do about Fancy?
If you want to be with Noah, you really have to think about what's the most important thing to you, love or money.